GM just paid millions after 28,000 engine failures. And the truth will shock you. Their V8s are blowing up within days of purchase, some punching holes in the block at just 42,000 miles. But GM's so-called fix? It forces drivers to pick between safety and fuel economy. And just like the ignition switch scandal that killed 12 people, CEO Mary Barra tried to bury it. Stay tuned. This could save you from owning a $70,000 paperweight. The massive cover-up exposed. GM has been hiding a catastrophic problem with their 6.2-liter V8 L87 engines. We're talking about the engines in Chevy Tahoes, GMC Sierras, Denali's, and other premium vehicles that cost $70,000 to $90,000. After over 28,000 reported engine failures, GM finally issued a recall. But here's the part that should make you furious. Some of these engines failed within days or weeks of purchase. Think about that. You walk into a dealership, sign papers for a $70,000 truck, drive it home, and within days or weeks you're stranded on the side of the road with a completely destroyed engine. The shocking reality hits home. The engine failures aren't the only problems destroying these trucks. GM has another recall that's equally terrifying. The front grille pieces are literally flying off on highways. Imagine driving behind a GMC truck when suddenly a massive chrome grille piece comes flying at your windshield at 70 miles per hour. This same owner experienced both disasters. His engine is burning oil like crazy, and his grille flew off during hunting season in Kansas. Two major safety recalls on one premium truck.
Well, I'm one of them. 2022 GMC AT4X, the baddest truck that GMC is supposed to make. It burns 3.5 quarts of oil in between oil changes. Also, had a recall on the grill. Mine flew off in Kansas during turkey season. I mean, I've been a GM guy for a long time. I've got a 2006 Chevy, 3/4 ton Duramax, got 267,000 on it. I drive it across the country today. Brand new GMC Acadia sitting there. This is my wife's. But then tonight, I'm driving out the road. I'll show you a picture of my truck. 42,000 miles. Look at that. But this, I don't know. What are you doing, GMC? What are you guys building us now? Like, for the first time in a long time, I've thought about switching. I don't know. Everybody tell me what you think.
This is a loyal GM customer for decades, and they've completely destroyed his trust. And he can't even trade or sell it because of the stop sale recall. Mary Barra's pattern of deception. This isn't her first time covering up deadly defects. She was at the center of the ignition switch scandal linked to 12 deaths. And the pattern? Always the same. Ignore the problem, let customers suffer, only act when lawsuits and bad publicity get too big to hide. One news report said it all. GM is bracing for a major financial hit after another big recall. The carmaker's new CEO admits something went very wrong with the company's safety efforts. Several government agencies recently launched investigations into GM's handling of its ignition switch recall, a defect linked to 12 deaths. Sound familiar? That's right. It's the exact same playbook GM is now running with these V8 engines. But why are these engines grenading? Here's what's really happening inside these engines and why GM's fix is actually forcing you to choose between two terrible options. The problem starts with oil, specifically 0W20 oil. GM ships these massive trucks and SUVs with this incredibly thin oil. Why? Because thinner oils help them meet fuel economy standards and emissions regulations. On paper, it sounds brilliant. In reality, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Here's the deadly combination. When you're pushing a massive truck that weighs several tons, the engine works incredibly hard. Heat builds up fast, and when that already thin 0W20 oil gets hot, it becomes even thinner. So thin it literally cannot protect the engine components anymore. The result? Rod bearings fail, connecting rods snap, crankshafts get damaged, and you get a hole blown right through your engine block while you're cruising down the highway at 70 miles per hour with your family. GM's fix that's actually a trap. So what's GM's multi-million-dollar solution to engines that are literally exploding? They're telling owners to switch from 0W20 to 0W40 oil. That's it. Their so-called engineering masterpiece. But here's where it gets really sneaky. This fix forces owners into two terrible choices. Choice 1, stick with the thin 0W30 oil and risk your engine blowing up, leaving you stranded, or worse, causing a dangerous accident. Choice 2, switch to the thicker 0W40 oil, which will definitely kill your fuel economy over the life of the truck, potentially causing hundreds or even thousands in extra gas. And the most devious part, many owners believe this is just a band-aid to get engines past warranty. Once this warranty expires, if the engine fails with the thicker oil, you're left with a repair bill that could cost easily $15,000 to $20,000. This solution isn't a fix, it's a trap. Here's the lawsuit that exposes everything. GM owners are fed up and they're finally fighting back. Class action lawsuits are now underway, calling out GM's so-called fix for their V8 engines. According to CarBuzz, the lawsuit states bluntly, GM's V8 engine fix gives owners two bad choices. And here's why it's so damning. GM is forcing customers to pick between the safety they paid for and the fuel economy they were promised. You cannot have both. One choice risks your engine blowing up. The other drains your wallet at the pump. This isn't just a problem. It's a full-blown exposure of GM's failures. And the lawsuits are shining a harsh spotlight on every misstep. Dealership visits reveal the truth. An independent review of GM dealerships revealed significant discounts on vehicles equipped with the 6.2-liter V8 engine. At one GMC dealership, a 2025 GMC Denali, originally priced at $80,975, was listed for $68,225, a reduction of $12,750. The vehicle was categorized as a demo sale, indicating it had been driven prior to purchase, often as part of test drives or dealership use. Dealership staff acknowledged that the 6.2-liter V8 has drawn mixed feedback from customers, and the price reductions suggest an effort to make these vehicles more appealing in a competitive market. How the Corvette shows GM's failures. What really exposes GM's failures is the Corvette. GM can build an absolutely incredible V8 engine for the Corvette. The new Corvette's flat, plain crank V8 is phenomenal. It sounds amazing, like an American Ferrari. Performs flawlessly and is engineered to absolute perfection. This engine is a masterpiece of American engineering. So explain this to me. How can the same company that builds this incredible V8 masterpiece completely botch the engines in their trucks and SUVs? These are engines they've been building and refining for decades. The answer is simple. Different teams, different priorities, different budgets. The Corvette team gets the resources and attention to build perfection. The truck team gets told to cut costs and meet emission standards, even if it means sacrificing reliability. Why not have the Corvette engine team design all of GM's V8 engines? The technology and expertise clearly exists within the company. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Here's the big marketing lie. Despite all these catastrophic failures, GM still has the audacity to advertise their trucks as America's most dependable truck based on J.D. Power ratings. Are you kidding me? How can a truck with 28,000 reported engine failures be called most dependable? It's like we're living in an alternate reality where facts don't matter as long as you pay J.D. Power enough money for a good rating. This is insulting to every customer who's been stranded on the highway with a blown engine. The electric car escape. Check this out. GM is really pushing their electric vehicles hard right now, and there might be a reason for it. At the GMC dealership, there was a 2025 Sierra EV Denali with extended range priced at $92,290. Over at the Chevy side, the Silverado EV came in around $72,000. Still pricey, but that's a $20,000 difference between the two trucks. So why the big EV push? A lot of people think GM's trying to steer buyers away from their V8 problems. If they can't get everyone into electric trucks, they don't have to deal with those engine issues anymore. But here's the problem. These trucks cost between $72,000 and $92,000, which puts them out of reach for most buyers. And for people who need to tow long distances, the charging network just isn't there yet. The turbo engine gamble. GM seems to be testing another escape route, dropping turbo 4-cylinder engines into their trucks. At the dealership, there was a GMC Sierra 2-door with the new Turbo Max engine, priced at $46,840, while the Chevy Silverado 2-door with the same setup came in at $42,795. The big question? History might be repeating itself. When Toyota replaced their rock-solid V8s with turbocharged engines, it led to some serious reliability issues. So now the concern is, could GM be setting themselves up for the same kind of trouble? The Blazer disaster, another GM failure. At the Chevy dealership, another GM misstep stood out: the way they handled the Blazer name. The Blazer used to be a tough off-road SUV that went head-to-head with the Ford Bronco and Jeep Wrangler. But GM took that legendary badge and slapped it on what's basically a family crossover that looks almost identical to the Equinox. Fans called it a wasted opportunity. Instead of building a true Bronco rival, GM rolled out a nearly $40,000 crossover that blends in with every other family hauler on the road. In a market where off-road SUVs are hotter than ever, GM had the perfect chance to shine and completely missed the mark. The real cost to customers. Let's talk about the real financial devastation these engine failures cause. If you bought a $70,000 Chevy Z71 with the 6.2-liter V8 and it fails at 42,000 miles like that GMC owner, you're looking at massive depreciation hit, potential engine replacement costs of $15,000 to $20,000 after warranty expires, lost time and massive inconvenience being stranded, safety risks on highways when engines fail without warning, reduced fuel economy for the life of the vehicle if you follow GM's fix, legal fees if you have to sue to get proper compensation. Here's the pattern across GM's lineup. This isn't just about one engine. GM has had problems with their V8 lifters failing in the top end of engines, and now rod bearings failing in the bottom end. It's like they can't build a reliable V8 engine anymore. Meanwhile, their diesel engines in trucks have been much more reliable. The 2006 Duramax that owner mentioned had 267,000 miles and still runs great. So GM can build reliable engines. They're just choosing not to do with their gas V8s. So how do you protect yourself from GM's disasters? If you already own one of these vehicles, here's what you absolutely must do. 1. Document everything: oil consumption, unusual noises, performance issues, dates, mileage. 2. Follow recall procedures exactly and get everything in writing. 3. Consider switching to 5W30 or 5W40 oil for even better protection than GM's recommended 0W40. 4. Keep detailed maintenance records. You'll need them for warranty claims or lawsuits. 5. Don't ignore warning signs: unusual oil consumption, knocking sounds, or performance issues. 6. Consider trading the vehicle while it's still under warranty if you're experiencing problems. There are better alternatives. If you're shopping for a truck, consider this. Ford's V8 engines don't have these widespread catastrophic failure issues. Ram's Hemi engines, while they have their own quirks, aren't grenading themselves at 42,000 miles. Even Toyota's V8 engines, despite their recent turbo problems, have a much better track record for longevity than these GM disasters. The future implications, and GM's $888 million game changer. This scandal is going to have lasting effects on GM's reputation that will take decades to repair. Truck buyers have long memories, and when your $70,000 investment turns into a paperweight, you tell everyone you know. GM stock price, dealer relationships, and customer loyalty are all taking hits from this crisis. The company that once built some of America's most reliable trucks is now known for engines that self-destruct. But here's the plot twist nobody saw coming. While dealing with these catastrophic failures, GM quietly dropped $888 million to completely rebuild their engines from the ground up at their Tonawanda plant in New York. However, customers aren't buying the hype. The overwhelming response shows deep skepticism and frustration. Many are demanding GM simply go back to basics, rebuild the proven 2002 LS engine that actually worked. Others are calling for the complete elimination of AFM, DFM, and cylinder deactivation systems that cause these problems. The trust factor is at rock bottom. Most telling is the sentiment that GM has been building small block V8s for 70 years. Why do they suddenly need to redesign everything? The market wants reliable V8 power, but nobody trusts GM to deliver it anymore. 28,000 failures, millions in payouts, grills flying off on highways, and owners forced into impossible choices between safety and fuel economy. How many more people need to be stranded on highways before GM takes real action? Don't let GM's marketing lies fool you. These engines are ticking time bombs that could leave you stranded or worse. Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button and subscribe for more auto content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.